it's also something that really resonates with me because Mama always told you got to finish what you started.
Flagler Beach Commission Chair Eric Cooley has decided to file for re-election. He told WNZF he considered not running, but with the city entering crucial years featuring its largest projects in decades, he reconsidered and decided to run.
You know, a lot of the residents that I talked to said, look, it would be a really big shame for you to get us to this point where we are just starting to accomplish all the things that you've been working on. And then once that gets in process, then you decide that you're going to take some time off. And it's a valid point. We have these really big projects. You got the beach project, we have the pier project going on. Those are going to take the majority of the term that I'm looking at being elected to in the future here. And so to see all those through would be very meaningful. And it's also very important because we don't want to put any of that kind of stuff in any type of risk.
Cooley is seeking a third term in the upcoming March election. If no additional candidates file by 5 p.m. today, it will lead to a two-person race for the lone open commission seat, with Bob Cunningham as the second candidate. Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Friday, January 12th.
You know, maybe shame on me or us that we're spending another $100,000 on top of what we spent in the past. Maybe we have to so that we get it right, but I feel uncomfortable.
During a work session this week, Palm Coast Mayor David Alfin questioned whether a $100,000 traffic study of Florida Park Drive would be money well spent. City Councilwoman Teresa Pontieri.
When this became a priority for me, specifically focused on Cimarron and then Florida Park Drive, I specifically said, why do we even need to do a speed study? We know there are issues. However, because statute dictates that we decided as a group to do it to be prudent.
Construction Management and Engineering Division Manager Carl Cody says the study will help the council make a more informed decision.
It will determine whether we're allowed to lower speed limits or not. And this will also determine the effectiveness, whether we can, install stop signs in Florida Park Drive or not, or what really will adding those landscape medians on Florida Park Drive have an impact, and if so, what type of impact will they have at all?
The City Council could vote next month on whether to order that study. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Daryl Moody.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. As we prepare for the weekend, let's review last weekend's criminal activities in Flagler County. From employing stop sticks to conducting a water rescue, it was an eventful one for Flagler County law enforcement.
The weekend began with spotting a stolen SUV along US 1 and State Road 11 in Bunnell. Then Flagler County Sheriff's deputies got involved. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
A vehicle that was stolen from Sebring, Florida was found in Flagler County. The driver fled. His tires were flattened using stop sticks by our deputies. Then he held himself hostage in the car, but ultimately gave himself up and was arrested.
Then deputies and firefighters responded to a water rescue that led to a transfer to a local hospital.
The grandmother and granddaughter trapped in the vehicle that was filling up with water. As the vehicle was on its side, it had a very deep drainage canal. Deputies broke the window to access the rear of the vehicle, and at that point, firefighters also arrived.
In all, Flagler County Sheriff's Office deputies made 13 arrests last weekend, handled 683 calls for service, and made 105 traffic stops. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
What does Pierre Tristram have in store for Flagler Live?
The hardworking editor and publisher says he writes.
I tend to write a bit long, and the stories are longer than they ought to be most of the time, but I have the sense that I want to put in as much of the record as possible in order for it to be seen as the record.
Tristram says it's a balance of getting information on the record and not overburdening the reader. With as many people as Pierre Tristram talks to on a regular basis, who would he most like to question and what would he ask?
I'd sit down with God and I'd say, what the hell?
Business Minds Coffee Chat with Jay Shear is on WNZF on Saturday mornings at 8:30, and it's on the Flagler radio app. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
The weekend is here and there's plenty of family fun to be had in Flagler County. This is Stacy with Fun for Augie Kids.
Tomorrow, join Flagler County Library for STEAM Saturday. There will be a different STEAM activity each week featuring science, technology, engineering, art, or math. There is no registration required, and children of all ages are welcomed. Musicians gather to play at the Gamble Jam in remembrance of James Gamble Rogers IV, a renowned Florida folk singer and storyteller for whom the Gamble Rogers Memorial State Park is named. Acoustical instruments of all types are welcome. Meet other musicians, practice, or just have fun listening. Sunday, come into the Michael's Art Store and make a cute organization jar out of a mason jar and tissue paper. Perfect for storing pens and little knickknacks. This event is completely free and all supplies are included. For more on these events and others, please visit us on our website at fun4augiekids.com. Have a great weekend.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
Monday night, the FPC girls soccer team took on 8-1 Matanzas at Sal Campanella Stadium. Bulldog freshman Laura Lee McLeod got the scoring started with a pair of goals. McLeod is the team's second leading scorer, but credits her success to her senior teammates.
They've meant a lot because they helped me a lot, and just they're great people, and I'm sad that they're leaving.
The Bulldogs led 3-0 at halftime. Caitlin Steiner scored twice as FPC added 5 more, winning 8-0 on an Erin Hughes goal with 2.2 seconds left. Coach Held credits the team's return to health and the growth of his freshmen for the 3-game winning streak.
I have a lot that are inexperienced for the high school game, but they have experience in the club situation, and they're clicking too.
The Bulldogs begin 5-star tournament play tomorrow against Mainland. At Tokoi last night, behind another clean sheet from Tegan Paulo, the FPC boys team won its 9th straight and 12th in the last 13, 2-0. They take on University in the 5-star tournament tomorrow. The Matanzas boys host Deltona tonight. Basketball, the FPC girls have won 5 out of 6. Ava Works had 25 in Monday's game against Seabreeze.
Over Christmas break, we put in a lot of work, and we've grown as a team, playing together. When we're talking with each other and we're hyping each other up, knowing, if we're saying we're going to do it, we need to back it up.
Offensively, the Bulldogs are led by Works and sophomore Allie Connerton.
We both have a heart for the game, so it's easy to work off of each other. I feel like we have the same mindset about the game.
The Bulldogs are in St. Petersburg this weekend at the Lakewood High MLK Classic. The FPC boys fell to Orange Park Wednesday. They take on Halifax tomorrow in the Execute to Impact MLK Showcase. The Pirates play in the Dale Green MLK Classic this weekend, starting with University Christian tomorrow. Wrestling, Matanzas takes part in the Wolfpack Challenge this weekend. FPC is at the Milton Winter Cousins Classic. WNZF is your home for local sports, with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.